So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm grateful for this opportunity to address this esteemed audience. And I'd like to commend Business World for taking this initiative and bringing the industry together on a topic as important and as critical as sustainability. I'll take the next few minutes to talk about my idea of what a sustainable company should be, a few highlights of the Tata Group, and what we are doing specifically on sustainability in Tata Consumer Products. Now, sustainability to my mind is not just an ethical imperative, but also a strategic business decision. Companies are beginning to understand that integrating sustainable practices into their operations can yield long-term benefits, such as continuity of their operations, cost savings, enhanced brand reputation, and enhanced competitiveness. Additionally, consumers, especially the younger generation, are increasingly demanding environmentally responsible products and services. In an ESG survey conducted by KPMG in the year 2022, 74% of respondents agreed that robust environmental sustainability practices improve employee productivity and reduce turnover. 87% of investors now consider ESG companies with robust commitments to be a critical part of their portfolio strategy. And 64% of consumers want visibility into the environmental impact of their products that they buy. And more importantly, today, governments are now taking bold steps to make sustainability a priority through policy interventions, regulations, and incentives. In India, we've got remarkable efforts from the government, such as the National Action Plan on Climate Change, net zero commitments, the introduction of renewable energy targets, and the ambitious commitments made under the Paris Agreement. On a personal front, I truly believe that a sustainable business is a better business because it creates long-term value for stakeholders. While the conversation around ESG, which is environment, social, and governance parameters, is now rapidly maturing in the corporate sphere, I do believe that there is a lot more to be done in driving long-term value creation, and I would underline the term long-term value creation with more focus on disclosure and, more importantly, prioritizing everyone's initiatives. A sustainable business has to operate with a deep sense of responsibility towards the environment, society, and more importantly, future generations. It has to go just beyond the short-term profit making and embrace a holistic approach that seeks to balance growth with social progress and environmental stewardship. I would highlight 5 traits that in my mind should be visible in any business that is actually committed to sustainability. The first is environmental consciousness. I believe that a sustainable company recognizes the urgent need to mitigate climate change, conserve resources, and protect biodiversity. It integrates sustainable practices throughout its operations, striving for energy efficiency, waste reduction, and responsible sourcing. Most importantly, it sets ambitious goals. Now, in many of these pieces, I'm sure the companies are not very sure how they will dot the I's and cross the T's when they come to those goals, but they still set it out there as a target to strive for. And then they invest in renewable energy, promote recycling, and circular economy principles. The second piece is social responsibility. Now, beyond the bottom line, a sustainable company places people, and I'm going beyond the social aspect, people at the heart of its operations. It treats all employees with fairness, dignity, and respect, fostering a positive work culture that encourages diversity, inclusion, and equal opportunity. It also engages with local communities, and that is today the more classic definition of social. It supports education, healthcare, and social development initiatives, recognizing that its initiatives can have far-reaching social impacts and therefore strive to create a positive difference. Number 3 is something which is not straightforward in the ESG framework. is ethical business practices. A sustainable company upholds the highest standards of integrity and ethics. It promotes transparency, honesty, and accountability across all levels in the organization. Takes responsibility for all the social and environmental impact of its products and services throughout their life cycle. Doesn't talk of only sourcing or doesn't talk of only downstream, the entire life cycle. And collaborates with suppliers and partners who share like-mindedness. Number 4 is innovation and adaptability. A sustainable company understands that innovation is a powerful driver for positive change. It encourages a culture of creativity and continuous improvement, seeking new ways to develop products and services that are more sustainable, efficient, and environmentally friendly. It anticipates and adapts to societal and environmental challenges, embracing emerging technologies and business models. Lastly, number 5 is stakeholder engagement. A sustainable company recognizes the interconnectedness of all its actions and the importance of engaging with all stakeholders. It actively listens to customers, employees, investors, regulators, communities, understanding all their expectations and concerns, and engages in meaningful dialogue. It might not have solutions for everything, but engages with meaningful dialogue, seeks feedback, and collaborates with them to address these challenges proactively. Just a point on the 5 traits that I mentioned, which is environmental consciousness, social responsibility, ethical business practices, innovation and adaptability, and stakeholder engagement. None of these are mutually exclusive, but rather all interconnected and mutually reinforcing. A truly sustainable company integrates these principles into its DNA, making sustainability an integral part of business strategy, decision-making process, and its corporate culture. Now, at the Tata Group, we've always held that sustainability is good for the planet, good for our consumers, and good for the commercial enterprise. We've been working on sustainability long before it became a buzzword. More than a century before the conversation around climate change became mainstream, Jamshedji Tata spoke of using clean energy to power the industry and the importance of caring for the environment. There was special attention paid to ensuring green cover and protecting biodiversity even when we set up Tata Motors and Tata Steel ages back. In the early 1900s, the group pioneered many labor initiatives and welfare measures before they were mandated by law. For 155 years now, the Tata Group has been living our purpose of giving back to society. The ethos of nation and community building is deeply rooted within our DNA. Even in the current context, sustainability is firmly on the agenda of boards of several Tata Group companies, and they are adopting global sustainability frameworks to disclose their sustainability performance. Recently at the Tata Group, we've taken it up one more notch. We have now literally embraced sustainability through what we call Project Alingana. Sanskrit translated is embrace, right? This embodies the group vision of protecting the planet and securing the future while innovating and acting today. Alingana has been launched with sustainability commitments from 7 Tata companies, which includes Tata Consumer Products. It commits to embedding sustainability into business strategy by focusing on 3 interconnected pillars. A, driving net zero. B, pioneering circular economy. And C, preserving nature and biodiversity. Now coming specifically to Tata Consumer Products, we were formed to fulfill the FMCG aspirations of the Tata Group. But to us, progress towards becoming a leading FMCG organization is not just about achieving numbers and metrics, but also about meeting the needs of all our stakeholders. We have the unique opportunity to deliver our commitments through our consumers' most loved brands like Tata Tea, Tata Salt, Sampann, and many more. These reach 200 million households in India. That's India alone, apart from the US, UK, Europe, Australia, and many other countries. Now, as we accelerate our growth journey, we have made our sustainability agenda sharper and more integrated. Last year, we laid out our sustainability strategy by drawing upon our learnings from several sources, such as the UN Sustainability Development Goals, the SDGs as they call them, materiality analysis conducted with a wide cross-section of our stakeholders, which includes investors and customers, regulatory requirements, industry trends, and scientifically developed targets. And we've now made these commitments public with dates on them, and I'll come to the details. But we've basically said we will work on 4 big pillars. One is for a better planet, second is for better communities, third is for better sourcing, and number 4 is for better nutrition. For better planet is initiatives driving net zero, water conservation, preserving nature and biodiversity, taking an active role in pioneering circular economies. Better communities is community engagement, equitability, employee health and well-being, and human rights. Better sourcing is end-to-end product stewardship. And better nutrition includes responsible marketing, product stewardship, and nutrition and consumer connect. And I talked about having made public commitments. We have put out numbers there. We said we will be net zero by 2040, water neutral by 2030, zero waste to landfill by 2030, 100% of packaging to be recyclable, compostable, or reusable by 2030. We are at a 15% diverse workforce, and we said we will be 50% diverse workforce by 2030. Positively impacting 2 million beneficiaries through community initiatives by 2030, and 100% sustainability sourced critical raw materials by 2040. On a lot of these parameters, we know the targets, we know where we want to reach, we have part of the information, but we are sure if we put the targets out there and work with all our stakeholders, partners, suppliers, customers, we will get there. While we have still a long way to go, we have started making decent progress on these initiatives. And I'd like to share some proof points with you. Firstly, on climate change. As part of our commitment to mitigating climate change impact, we have embedded sustainability practices into our operations and put in place a robust risk management process. Number 2, plastics. We are a founding member of the India Plastics Pact, the UK Plastics Pact, the EU Plastics Pact. In India, while we can get away with a lower number regulation-wise, we are 100% EPR on all our plastic that we generate. 68% of the laminate that we use in Tata Salt, which is our single biggest SKU, 68% of the laminate in the salt category in FY23 was recyclable. All our beverage factories globally are zero waste to landfill. We used to have a little bit of plastic in our tea bags and packaging earlier, but now in our international business, our Good Earth and Tea Pigs tea bags are 100% plant-based, and Tetley, we are on our way, and in 2023, we will be rolling them out. Water. Through our water conservation projects, we are aiming to positively impact approximately 2.5 million individuals across 4,000 plus villages across 12 states. Sourcing. We are founding members of the Trust Tea Initiative in India, which is a sustainability code and verification system for the Indian tea sector. 55% of the tea that we source in India is from Trust Tea. Internationally, we partner with Rainforest both for tea as well as for coffee. And we are 100% Rainforest certified. Community. And this we are always proud of as part of the Tata Group. Our projects focus on critical areas spanning healthcare, nutrition, education, and skill development for vulnerable groups in the communities that we operate in. And we've focused all our efforts around our plants and our plantations, because instead of dispersing them everywhere, we concentrate around our plants and plantations so that we really create impact out there. Some of our projects include the High Range School in Munnar, the Srishti Trust in Munnar, the Swastha Center in Coorg, High Range Hospital in Munnar, and the Referral Hospital and Research Center in Chabua, Assam. On nutrition, we're just getting started. 24% of our new products launched last year addressed health and wellness, and we now look at accelerating that momentum. While we have been making all these efforts, I still do think we have a lot more to do. Integrating sustainability into our strategy and operations is a challenging but ultimately rewarding experience. At Tata Consumer Products, we do aspire to be among the top FMCG companies in the country, and that will take a little bit more time. But there is no reason we cannot be right on top of the list of companies driving sustainability in India and globally here and now. Ladies and gentlemen, the journey towards sustainability might not be easy, but it is a journey we must embark on. Let us commit ourselves to creating and supporting sustainable companies that embody the values of stewardship, responsibility, and progress. Together, I do believe that we can shape a future that is economically vibrant, socially just, and environmentally sustainable. Thank you.
So we will be taking questions. Any questions?
Sir, my name is Girish Sethi. I have 3 questions. You said the product innovation. Just few years ago, when we go to the market, we simply say, give me Tata salt, give me the salt. And only one brand quality is available. Now, if I am not wrong, 5 different brands of Tata is available. The consumer confused, which is good for health. Number 2. Earlier we go to the market, we say there are 2 oils, cooking oils, Rath and Dalda. Number of oils, consumer confused. What to get? 3 point. Number 3, the tea bags always have a staple pin, the thread which is attached, and that's not good, if I am not wrong. That's all.
So let me answer your questions, right? Innovation cannot be done for innovation's sake. Innovation has to come from a consumer insight and a need that the consumer has, which current products are not able to fulfill. So as the whole dialogue about what we call in our industry HFSS, right? High fructose, salt and sugar, high fructose, salt, sugar and fat. As the dialogue goes up, and COVID has only accelerated this, and health and wellness ramps up, people are moving towards more healthy and nutritious products. People are now becoming conscious that while salt is a necessity, excess sodium is an issue, right? So we have in our range, when you say multiple salts, there is a very specific reason why each of these salts exist. So we have got a 15% lower sodium, and we've got now a 30% lower sodium, right? So you can get the same saltiness at a lower sodium level. One of the things we were working with the health ministry some time back was this, while the Tata salt did address the iodine deficiency in the country by adding iodine into the most commonly consumed product, which is salt, the next micronutrient deficiency in India is iron, right? So therefore, again, the easiest carrier for these micronutrients is salt, right? Because everyone adds salt in all the products. So we've launched iron fortified salt. There is a huge deficiency of vitamin D, right? We did launch this, but consumers didn't want it. So we're pulling that back. After COVID, people wanted to boost up immunity and willing to look at products with some immunity boosters. Therefore, we launched salt with zinc. We call it Immuno. So the pack will say Immuno. So the consumer knows what the benefits. I think 2 things. I'll repeat, innovation has to come in from a consumer insight and then solve a problem which the consumer has. That's number 1. Number 2 is I do believe it is up to the companies as well to educate the consumer, saying if you've got this deficiency, this is the salt for you, right? So I do think there is a space for all these products. Once the consumer is educated enough, they know what is good for them, what is their specific need, and pick it out, right? So that is my answer to why we have 5 different salts.
I am technology expert. Sir, I worked in Badarpur Power Station where you have, you can say, mm, ash handling system was, using water-based system, But in Hitachi, in IP station, Hitachi had bag system, all the fly ash was collected in bags. And this was used for, cement making and mixing with cement and other uses. So we are, having so much, problem with our ash disposal. We are having some fly ash problems after ponds after drying. They start, throwing up uh, fly ash. For almost 50 years, we are having bad technology. And
So
your coal handling plant was supplied by your company. So there were some problems. I wrote to JRD Tata so that we can fix these things. For example, sprinklers were not working. So you can improve your own things also.
I don't
Particularly
dispute that.
fly ash. Fly ash. We are not capturing fly ash in bags. When you are capturing fly ash in bags, there is very little possibility of it going into air and polluting the air. So we are having, something like 20 million tons of fly ash, or maybe more, is produced in India. You should be working on such kind of things also. So you have such a big group, international group.
So, sir, point perfectly taken. I'd just like to make 2 points. I represent Tata Consumer Products. We are the FMCG group. All of us operate as separate companies. But at the group level, like I said, Project Alingana, we made specific commitments. 7 Tata companies, which includes Tata Motor, Tata Steel, Tata Power, all of us have made these commitments. And I'm sure all these companies are working towards achieving these commitments by those target dates. Thank you.